whatever mining company, please come to the office or meet me at the site. So we take all our gadgets, our survey equipment and everything and go to the site with you. And then he will check the place. Okay? So in his report, he will say, it's okay. Or out of the 25 acres, only 5 acres are good to go. The others are too close to the town, close to the water body, it's in the Ramsar side. Or it is on a hill, the town is beneath, so when there is some heavy rainfall, there will be flooding, and so we will not even allow you. Okay, so he's there with the person.
Okay.
And then the report is filed. And once he okays, he said, look, report is okay, all the necessary documentations are okay, process further. So he uploads it, and then we work on it in Accra, and then off he goes to the minister. If he says that it's in an area where mining cannot be allowed, he will just note that, and then they will write back to you and say that, having done the inspection, your area you intend to mine is located in an area that we cannot allow mining. It is too close to the town, or it is close to the headwaters of maybe a particular river, so mining is not possible, or it tends to be on a hill. The town is just on the slope, so it will impact them. So on the basis of that, your application is rejected.
And so High Street, for instance.
So High Street lodged an application.
So were they coming for a mining lease as a large scale, or a mining license, or a mineral right as a small scale?
Let me clarify again. Whatever authorization that any person needs to explore for a mineral, that is search for, which is same as prospecting, or extract it, which is mining, whether on a large scale or a small scale, except that small scale there's something like exploration, it is generally referred to as a mineral right.
That's understood. I just wanted to know if they are coming as
type of
a large
right,
scale or small scale.
Yeah, so what type of mineral right were they coming from? They were coming from a large scale mineral right.
Okay.
In this particular case, a mining lease.
Okay, so they uploaded all the information.
They submitted the application online. Yes.
Was it complete from the records that you required of them?
We did not even check any of the things. The first thing, as I told you, is to superimpose the map on the entire system in Ghana to see whether there are restrictions.
Is that what you call the cadastre?
Yes, the online mining cadastre. Okay. That is it. For the public, you only see information we put out there. But in a house, just like here, there are a lot of people behind the scenes who are checking your sounds, and you're just here doing the interview.
Yeah.
But there are people who are in the back room. So when we check, we realize that no, it falls within the Kakum National Park. And for that matter, that's an area we cannot even process, because then we will not even allow in the first place. You see, it will even require you even get a forestry entry permit, go through all the other protocols. We were not even prepared to look at all that.
So at first instance, it was a failure.
Once you check it, you realize that no, it's and not just national parks. Any area, as I said, if once it's a restriction by us, there's an energy project, I think solar or so, in an area in Accra where Ministry of Energy has told us we should restrict it because they are going to do solar farms. All those areas are restricted. So once we check and realize that no, it's an area that ordinarily we cannot allow mining because it is restricted or the rules don't permit us, we'll tell you no. So we'll write back to you and tell you that no, the application has been what? Rejected, or we cannot process
it any further. When was this ascertainment made and communication made to High Street?
I may have to check the date.
Okay.
But what was worrying is this. The CSOs, we know them. I mean, we've been working together. And they do invite us to our workshops. We also do invite them. So, for instance, last Thursday, I got to the office around 10 after a meeting. Then I saw a letter on the desk inviting us to a seminar. They were going to discuss mining in forest reserves and environmentally sensitive areas. So I told my secretary, oh, it's too late. I would have loved to attend this. So we couldn't go. It does happen. Okay? So we know them. They sent us a letter like that for a discussion generally.
Yeah.
That is it. Then over the weekend, we saw on social media a statement attributed to one Mustafa that Kakum National Park has been targeted for mining, that a company called High Street is about to be granted license.
It's about to be granted
license to do mining in Kakum National Park. To quote, I mean, that is, I'm quoting what went out there. So these things were forwarded to us. People call us. Myself, I went on a website in Ghana Web and read it. I said, oh my God. But this, so if I'd availed myself at the workshop, perhaps this will have been answered. But be that it may, or that notwithstanding, we're expecting that they could just give us a call or come under right of information. Because that group, they've asked so many questions. They've been sending us requests and a right of information about Etiwa. You know, they are in court with government.
Okay.
About whether Etiwa should be mined or not. So that is pending. So my worry is that what prevented them, because they said according to information available at the website of Minerals Commission, even where people do searches, where people do searches to check on information and things, and we respond, we even say that this information is given on so and so date. Even at our website, we have a disclaimer there that whatever information you find on our website, still cross-check with us. So we're expecting, you see, because if you look at the statement that went out there, that is what they were so categorical that if you check their website, this is what we think. So they could have just called us and said, Minerals Commission, we've seen this information, or we've heard, or we've seen this thing on your website. And we've seen that a particular company has, an application in this area. What is the situation? Is it a case? Has it been registered? Are you going to allow mining in forest reserve or whatever? They didn't do that. Because, was it last year or 2 years ago? We published in the papers, and I co-signed that with the Forestry Commission CEO, indicating all the licenses that have been granted in forest reserve and those that are being prospected. Okay, the areas that are being prospected. And then even Minister issued a statement to the Fed that he has suspended prospecting, not mining. I'll clarify that. So that's all that we're expecting them to do. And then we'll just respond and say, please, this thing is not going to happen. It's not something that we are going to process or even consider. But be that it may, the story broke. So in the same measure, I also needed to respond quickly. So yesterday we put out a statement there, and you can see from the various paragraphs in my statement, that one is not something that will be processed. It's actually rejected because it's in an ecologically very sensitive area. The very reason they are also raising, we don't intend to consider now or in future any application. So the bottom line is that Kakum is off limits for mining. So you can still go there, climb your canopies, go and look at the elephants and all those wildlife things. And then it's a heritage.
So you are saying the Kakum National Park is off limits?
Yes, and under no circumstance whatsoever will Minerals Commission process or recommend the grant of any mineral right, whether for exploration or mining in the Kakum National Park now or in future.
Just to clarify and also to provide some education, in terms of your efforts at transparency,
yes,
you've mentioned your website, for instance, where people can actually access information about the various mineral rights that have been granted during the period. Was it the case that this application, or even their processes, do you have an interface for the public, or the public interface, where they can tell which applications have come through at any point in time?
Yes, the public can access. You see, apart from an applicant who can check the state of his application, the public can just log into the system and get certain basic information. If some of them are not available, you may have to request either through a letter or give us a call. Some information we can't give you. Okay, so for instance, we can't give you the exploration data of a company because that is for government. Those are the exceptions under the rule. Even national security, you can request for certain information, they can give you, but they cannot give you certain things.
I mean, it makes sense. If somebody has spent that much money to do exploration, you don't just
not
put
even
it out
that
like
the data. That. I mean, the data, it's just for government and the company. That is secret. You can't put out except the ones that the company has filed publicly, especially those that are publicly listed, like Newmont and Google Ashani, that occasionally they give some briefs or some update in their filings. Those ones fine. If it's available on their website, that is it. Other than that, we are the only people who have access to it. So for instance, Atlantic Lithium, their full feasibility report is with Minerals Commission.
Okay.
We can't give it out because that is confidential data for government. But details of what is contained in that we can make it available. For example, how much they found, how many years they intend to mine, what other minerals are there, how many people they intend to employ, we can give you that. But the actual geological data, that is confidential. Yes. So unless the company or government permits you, we can give it out.
In the specific case of the High Street Ghana Limited application,
yes,
was it something which was up on your website that was accessible by the public, for which, for instance, this CSO was indicating that it is actually about receiving the grant?
The name was there. Yeah, the name was there, like you can see the name was there as an application. So I guess what they did was to marry the location with forest, because you see they also have all the forest data.
Yes.
If you look at their statement, they even say, oh, there are other 14 others. I don't know which other 14. So
other CSOs.
Yeah, no, other 14 applications in forest reserves.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for that information, because we have put it out there, so you will see it there. Yes.
So you see every application as well as the status of the application.
You will see, the applicant will see the full details, because the applicant logs in and uploads, so he can at every material time or daily track his application. But on the website you will see that no, somebody has submitted an application, this is the status, like it's pending. It's essentially pending.
So for all applications, what you see will be pending.
Pending, or if it's granted, it is granted.
Okay.
Or if we have not uploaded, you can request for it, because you see, we upload when the minister issues a license. The company will have to go register and stamp it, like a land record.
Yes.
So all those processes will have to be completed before we upload. So it's not all licenses that we have uploaded. A lot of them are still going to certain formalities.
And so
day in, day out, the website is updated. Yes.
So one would be wondering if there wasn't any indication of the grant about to be made.
Or we intend not to grant, we should have taken it off.
No, the question is, what would give such a CSO or anybody that confidence that the grant was about to be granted?
So what prevented? So let me ask the question again. Particularly having invited us to a seminar, as a Thursday, the very seminar which that statement was made. What prevented the CSO from getting back to Minerals Commission and saying that,
to find out the status?
Please, we've seen a pending application on our website. Is it the case? We want to believe it's within Kakum. Are you considering it? Have you granted it? Do you intend to grant it? Something like that.
And that's even why I'm asking the question, because they had limited information. So they will see a status pending. What would give them that confidence to proceed to press, to even say that?
Well, that is a question you may have to ask them, because it is not an excuse to just rob somebody in front of ASAASE radio, and then when you're taken to the police and say you are hungry. It is not an excuse. It is not an excuse, because we have been collaborating. We attend seminars. In fact, we are just about to even review our mineral policy of 2014. You understand? So even if the case was that it was difficult for them to access information, they could have even gone under the Right of Information Act. It is not an excuse whatsoever to just pick information from the website of Minerals Commission, where there's a disclaimer that whatever you see here, check, because the system is updated regularly. They didn't do that.
And clearly...
but they wrote to us inviting us for that
the seminar,
where that very statement was made. So why didn't you write to us earlier on? Because this is a seminar that was planned, I believe, weeks, at least a week or two. Okay? So why didn't you write to us or call us to find out? Because they came for all kinds of information to build their dossier and their court filings against government on the Tiwa. So why didn't you write to us? Okay, and say, or even give us a call, walk into the Minerals Commission and say, Minerals Commission, we are seeing this on your website. What is the situation? In fact, it is within Kakum as far as we are concerned. Are you going to grant it? Have you recommended it, or have you taken it down, or something of that nature? They could have just checked with us. And I don't think that should be an excuse.
And that's what even gives me the concern, because, I mean, they would typically know what to do. And so if they are not doing it and yet going to the public with such information, the question becomes, what is the intent? And it becomes a lot of a concern. But now, especially...
let me interrupt you rudely.
Okay.
I can understand, because, you see, they have a certain goal, which I'll not begrudge them. It's everywhere. Their goal is that no form of mining, whether exploration or prospecting, should be allowed in our forest reserves. There is this LI 2462. We will have to come back and discuss that.
Yes, we'll come back to that. Yeah.
Maybe I'll come with the EPA boss,
sure,
Kokofu, because it sits within their domain. But once it's concerned mining, it's of huge interest to me. I may come with him. I may come with the Forestry Commission. So it will be lovely to host the three of us.
A tripartite.
Yes, the EPA boss, of course, the Minerals Commission. I'll make myself available, and they have to speak to them. We'll come and spend some 1 hour on that particular one.
Okay.
Yes, so we will need to discuss that. I think it was passed, is it last year or something of that sort? LI 2462. Do you understand that? So that is the one. So their aim is that we will not allow it.
Okay.
Just like somebody will say, we will not allow gay marriage. Or will allow it, whatever. People hold all kinds of views, and it's not peculiar to Ghana. So we cannot take away that from them.
Sure.
I mean, there are groups, identified groups that also say, in fact, whilst we are not against mining, we are against the surface one.
Okay.
So Wakam, for instance, consistently have said that we should ban open pit mining or mining that is on the surface.
Open surface.
That everybody should do underground mining because that is less intrusive or environmentally less, what do you call it? Destructive. Attitude of Greenpeace towards this nuclear thing. Okay, if you want to be and even Carmichael project, which is in Queensland, Australia, a huge coal mine by is it the Adani family or so in Australia that will ship about 100 million tons of coal. First, coal is a dirty mineral. Source of Then the protest was that he's going to destroy the Great Barrier Reef. Okay, that coral reef off the coast of Queensland. I happened to live in Australia for a while when I was studying.
Okay,
there was protest. It took over 10 years for the environmental permit to be granted on the Carmichael coal project. You can Google about it. So it's everywhere. You go to America, you remember the Keystone Pipeline. Whether it's Democrats or the Republicans, some will say we stop it. Some will say let's take it. The one that will carry these oil sands, fuel crude oil from the Alberta oil sands all the way to US, the Keystone Pipeline. There has been this debate that they stop it. Environmental groups have championed, that. Some are saying no, we can't allow it. Some say let's allow it. So this kind of protest or not to allow certain things, it's all over the world. It's understandable. We will not take that away from them. But what should not be an excuse is where you don't verify your information. Because the alarm this actually caused in this country, you'll be surprised. I mean, the whole country, Saturday, Sunday, and even as at yesterday, was like there was some kind of, alarm and say, wow.
Everybody was concerned.
Yeah, everybody was concerned. Because it was coming in the heels of these galamsey activities in our forests and those reports we've been seeing. So now Kakum. Wow.
And Mr. Ayisi, unfortunately today we don't have a lot of time. So we'll reorganize to do this a lot more expansively. Yes. But two final questions, and if I could get
and I promise to bring my good friend Kokofu and Ms. Aloti to really discuss
the details of
mining forest reserve. I have my own personal position on forest reserves, whether or not we should allow mining.
In there,
which I'll discuss with you.
So two final questions and brief responses. First one, the issue of the deleting of the application. I mean, if you are having an application like that and you captured it in your statement that you've deleted it, how do you ensure completeness and accuracy of all of these detail, the various applications and the various stages through which they travel?
Simple. Our system is updated regularly and regularly. I mean, every day, every second, even right this morning, you put information out there, you update it, you correct things and check. When licenses expire, you take them out. Some you don't take them out. So, for instance, under the law, most people don't know. That's why this education is important. When you apply, you have a mineral right. The law says you have 90 days to apply for renewal. The reason is that 90 days is reasonable enough for you to get it renewed by then. But if for some reason the 90 day expires and the license expires and your license have not been renewed, the law says the license is still valid. Yes, that is the laws of Ghana. Because it was not his fault. He didn't hear from you for some other reason. Okay, so your license is expiring 31st December. You lodge a renewal in September. come 1st January next year, he's not heard from us for some reason, maybe request for some additional information or whatever, but then lawfully the license has expired. The mining laws of Ghana says that the license is valid until it is determined. So you go to the website, it will say that ASAASE mining company's license expired on 31st December. Maybe today is 2nd January. Then you say, oh, the license has expired. But in the law, as far as you are concerned, that license is valid because he has applied for renewal. So if you look at the system, it will say pending. Then people ask, how can the license has expired? And say it is pending. That's why we put a disclaimer there and say that anybody who finds any information on our website, please double check with us as far as those things are concerned. So that is it.
Okay.
So you will see an expired license in the system, but in reality it is valid because the person has a pending application which has not been renewed within the period that it was supposed to be renewed for various legitimate
all kinds
reasons.
of reasons. Okay.
So that is it.
I have a final question for you, but I need to execute this commercial. Let's take a brief break, drink water from Verna, and I'll ask my final question of Mr. Martin Ayisi, who is the CEO of the Minerals Commission. Stay with us.
Verna water is proudly made in Ghana by Trillium Industrial Company Limited and is purified using a series of filtration, reverse osmosis, UV sterilization, and ozonation to meet high standard of quality and safety. Verna, which is ISO certified, is also awarded as the Water of the Year at the Ghana Beverage Awards 2021, Product of the Year by Ghana Manufacturing Awards 2019, Water Producing Company of the Year by Ghana Manufacturing Awards 2021. Purchase a bottle of Verna, which comes in 330 ml, 500 ml, 750 ml, 1.5 liters, and 15-liter jar. For bulk purchase, contact 0249 717777. This advert is FDA approved.
The ABS, the Sassy Breakfast Show.
And you're still live on the ABS, and we are talking to the Minerals Commission, and its CEO is present with us here, Mr. Martin Ayisi, and we are talking about the High Street Ghana Limited application, which has become a very topical conversation since this weekend. And you look at the various newspapers this morning, online portals, it is everywhere. And just to wrap up the conversation, Mr. Ayisi, very final one. You see, you have given all the explanations why people shouldn't be concerned. But one of our listeners, K, sends through a message and says, whether it is lease or license, whether issued or not, once boys, and he puts boys in quotes, have heard that Kakum National Park has got the juice, and he puts juice in quotes, they will move in there with their tools very soon. We should watch this space. What kind of assurance can you give to K and the various other people who are concerned about illegal mining once people have got wind that potentially there could be mineral resource in there?
In fact, I didn't want to make that statement, but I was telling my driver a while ago before I entered this studio, and this is what I told him in Tree. Kwejo, this CSO former hyper almost by me in near Baho. Wow, yeah. Now people will think that, oh, maybe a hole there is good in there, so let's go and see what we can get there. Well, the assurance I'll give the gentleman is that the Forestry Commission that has responsibility to protect our forests, manage it, will have to be, I don't think for now there's galamsey there. There's nothing there, but they just have to be going around and watch carefully and make sure that people don't enter the place.
But you see, the concern is there are other reserves which have been entered. And so how different is this going to be? What gives us that assurance that it won't be the case with Kakum?
My brother, it's like you can't fold up your arms and give up. Then we could as well shut down the country and sell this country off. You cannot say that because other reserves have been entered, people go there in the night and go and do illegal mining. So, but I understand the fear that now that perhaps somebody was intending to apply for a mineral right there, then maybe the news out there like that guy, is that, hey, then maybe there's something there. So, is it the case that very soon you see galamsey people entering there? It shouldn't happen. It should not happen. It should not happen.
Sure.
I don't think Forestry Commission will allow that. I know somebody will hit back and say, oh, but where is the same Forestry Commission or Minerals Commission as compared to what is happening maybe on Pramprama, the Z or the other ones? But we cannot allow that. We cannot allow any form of human activity apart from maybe you going there as a tourist or going to the canopy or walking in those areas in the Kakum.
To go see those beautiful wildlife.
1931, my sister, 1931. That is when I was told it was created and gazetted in 1992. So we got to be careful that nobody goes there to do anything illegal. But let me wrap up by saying that it is totally off limits for any mineral rights operation or activity as far as Minerals Commission is concerned. Nobody will do anything today or in future. But then I also want to take this opportunity to use your platform to tell everybody, whoever is listening to us, that please verify. The Nigeria, if you were the Nigerian finish, how many times did I say this? I'll tell you something disturbing. I'm sure you are aware. You remember that nursing student or nurse who caused a serious alarm or trouble in this country and took a shot at Cantonment waterfalls and put it out there and say, "Ebe, now Galamsey drew her." Then they put it on website and all those things. Apparently, there was some serious flooding upstream, so it washed the rock debris and all those things down there. Yeah, so people thought, hey, so now Galamsey have reached our waterfalls. So just the full, and then it became headline news and all over, just like this one. Then I think the tourist board or authority, some people went there, and then the following day or 2-3 days after that, Charlie, the water has cleared. Then it turns out that it was a heavy rain, that caused some flooding, that washed those debris there, and then it turned, if you like, it looks like Milo.
It looked silted.
Yes. So we heard the lady was picked up. Whether she has been prosecuted for false news or whatever, creating some alarm or panic, we don't know what has happened. But you see, these are the kind of things that we do to ourselves as a nation. Clearly, within some seconds of that picture or video going viral, 31 million Ghanaians became an alarm. They say, oh, now Galamsey normally they drew waterfalls, just like this very story. A call to clarify whatever information they might have picked at our website will have saved us ample time. Perhaps we should have been discussing what is in it for us as far as lithium is concerned.
Exactly. And that
or we should rather be discussing the LI 2462, which I'm hoping to discuss.
Which we'll be doing. And Mr. Ayisi, we've been chasing you for this, and we are going to make it happen.
I am
now you're available.
I am spiritually and everything now committed to coming here every week now.
Okay.
And let me say that unless I travel,
okay,
your time is actually the best for me.
Okay.
So let me know when.
Okay.
I can appear again, and then you can even start doing the promo.
Exactly.
And then the topics that we need to discuss.
Great.
That is it.
Because this is very important
I'm not
to
going
us.
to miss.
You are not missing.
If you can give me one slot before the week runs, I'll be happy. But I know from Wednesday is tough because Wednesday is budget.
Yes. And in fact, we have a conversation on the budget just after this conversation with you. So
I can indulge you.
Yes.
What do you call it? If you like, this week.
Okay.
But let's agree maybe when I leave here because you need to check with your producer.
Don't worry. My producer is waiting for you. He's standing at the door.
Either Monday or Tuesday, I'll be here. This time is good for me.
Sure.
I'm so grateful.
Sure. And we are grateful you made time to come and talk to us this morning. I mean, because mining issues have been of great concern. In fact, this morning on the front page of the Chronicle again, 2 illegal miners die in Densiri Forest Reserve. And I mean, the stories are many.
And that was a battle between they and the forest.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there's a lot more to talk about. But we want to thank you very much again, Mr. Martin Ayisi. He's the CEO of the Minerals Commission. Fortunately, they are neighbors, not too far away from the Togo Embassy roundabout. You just go down there and they are there. So we'll go and bring him and we'll let you know everything that is happening as far as mining is concerned in this country. You know what our interest is as a nation, what we are doing to be responsible with our mining, balancing that with our economic interest as well. But once again, Mr. Ayisi, thank you very much for joining us on the ASAASE Breakfast Show.
I'm so grateful that I've been able to reconnect with you guys after what, a year or two, and I hope this time around it will be permanent.
Sure.
That at least once every week
it shall be permanent.
I'll show up here to discuss issues that concern all of us.
It shall be
Afghanistan
permanent.
to Zimbabwe.
Okay. All right. All right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.